Welcome back to the Philadelphia Flyers Junior Hockey pregame show. As always, we are joined for Shutey Says by our PA announcer, Ryan Shute. Ryan, tough loss last night for the Flyers. Talk about what you saw in that third period since we talked to you yesterday.
Well, what I pretty much saw was just Syracuse just really took it to the Flyers in the third period. The Flyers definitely were trying their hardest, but nothing was just going right for them, and Syracuse just had a lot of scoring opportunities. They started really cashing in, and especially hats off to Ethan Salat for potting two last night.
We talked about the play of the defense last night. The D obviously needs to be a little more solid through 60 minutes, not just the 40 minutes that they were pretty stellar last night. Talk about their effort last night and what you want to see out of them in today's game.
Well, I think we just want to see more of the same of what we saw from the defense, and more of the same. I think we'll get great goaltending again, even though we're going to have Matt Beck in for this contest rather than Adam Mercer. But Matt's been pretty solid, so we'll see. We'll see what we have today. They just need to play, like you said, they need to play the full 60 minutes because defensive effort was outstanding last night.
Kind of easy segue into my next question. You mentioned goaltending. Matt Beck will get the start tonight. What are you expecting out of him getting his first action after the extended break for Thanksgiving?
Well, I expect nothing less than a great effort again from Matt. He's the team, for whatever reason, even though the defense has played well, the goaltenders are still seeing a ton of shots, and Matt's just been very good at fighting off a lot of shots. So I expect to see a lot more shots thrown at Matt, but hopefully we can block a couple off and not let some of these pucks get to Matt. But I have no doubt that Matt's going to have a great effort in goal tonight.
That was without a doubt one of the issues last night. The Stars threw over 40 shots on goal. We talk sometimes in hockey about must-win games, and even though coaches, players, PA announcers, and broadcasters alike don't necessarily like to use that term, are we getting to a point now where many games, if not almost every game, is a must-win situation for this team?
Well, it is starting to get to this point. The Flyers are stuck in ninth right now. However, a big series in a couple weeks with the Pale Junior Islanders in which they are only 4 points separating them. So I'd like to say that taking care of home ice this afternoon and grabbing these 2 points is huge. I'm not going to go must win, but grabbing 2 points will be very crucial. And there's a tough series coming up with South Shore, and they're a little higher up in the standings. So taking these 2 points today is very important.
Definitely important. Also, it's important to note, as of right now, the Junior Islanders are losing to the Jersey Hitmen 3-0. So if the Flyers can't eke out 2 points, they'll be 2 points closer. And also important to mention, I think 2 of the Flyers' wins this year have come against South Shore. So obviously a big weekend next weekend. Shutey, finally, one last question for you. The lines have changed up a bit today. What are you expecting from today's game? And as always, who are you watching out there on the ice in the orange and black?
Well, as far as the shakeup in the lines, when we got the line chart this morning, we're seeing that listed as the fourth line is J.R. Barone with Reed Bibb on his left and Richie Greenberg on his right. They were actually a very good line last night. I'm not going to put too much stock into how these lines are listed on here because if Barone, Bibb, and Greenberg are producing and they're going to get the minutes, it doesn't matter where they're listed at on here. And for today's game, I want to see something out of Matteo Capriati again. He looked very, very quick last night. He's going to be the starting center along with Trepaya and Walter. And I want to see Cap continue to progress with his quickness. Hopefully he can stay out of the box. I feel like Cap's in the box every game, so he's definitely more effective on the ice than in the box.
It definitely does seem that way. Matteo Capriati will actually, it's funny you mentioned that, will be our player profile during the first intermission. Shutey, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you in between the second and third.
All right, DJ, see you at second intermission.
We'll be right back on the Philadelphia Flyers pregame show. Welcome back to Philadelphia Flyers Junior Hockey here on Hockey TV. We are in the second intermission of this one between the Flyers and the Stars, and it's time for our second intermission edition of Shutey Says. Shutey, we just said it. What just happened there?
DJ, I don't even know where to begin, but I'll try to begin somewhere. At the 13:59 mark of the first period, Nick Polsnelli gets the Flyers on the board. Got a 2-1 game. Now, even though Syracuse fired back very quickly, went back up by 2 goals, the Flyers were right there, stride for stride with Syracuse. Nick then follows up with 2 more goals in the second period. We got a 3-3 game. Next thing you know, 5 unanswered Stars goals go in. I don't know what's going on down the defensive end, but that's where the trouble is, because down the offensive end, they're sharp. They're getting pressure on the goaltender. They had 20 shots on goal in that second period. I don't know what's going on out there.
It's definitely been weird. Like you said, the shots are only off by 2, 34 to 32. Clearly, offense is not the problem, but let's talk about, while we're here, let's talk about those goals by Nick Polsinelli, because the 2 goals that he scored to tie it at 3 were absolutely beautiful. Let's start with the goal, the tip from practically right out of midair at knee height.
Oh yeah, and that's a goal scorer's goal right there. And Nick Polsinelli is, I can't stress enough like how great he's been for this Flyers team for the past couple years. Now I will tell you something funny. On the second goal, I have some obstructed views sometimes when the puck is coming down to our left, due to some beams that are up here that has built this perch that we're standing on right now. So I had a little bit of an obstruction, and I saw Reed Bibb coming down the left wing. I saw him come toward the middle. I'm not sure where Nick Polsinelli showed up from to score the goal, because I actually was arguing with the referee that Bibb scored, not Polsinelli.
Yeah, that was Polsinelli's 3rd goal, which would bring the hat trick. Without a doubt, that play started with Reed Bibb in the defensive zone, did a nice job to get it out. And I'm right there with you. I have no idea where Polsinelli came from to bury that puck into the empty net.
No, and neither do I. And like I said, you know, I know it's the referee's job, not my job, to actually count who's actually scoring, but I was certain that he was dead wrong when he gave me 18 from 15, because I'm like, no, 15 scored the goal. But no, it was Polsinelli. I did get confirmation from the bench, and I will not argue with the referees any longer.
I will sometimes, but that's because I mostly know them. Shutey, obviously, it's 8-3, but we still have a full 20 minutes left to go. What does this team need to do to try to get back into this one?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to go with the simple premise of this. If they scored 5 goals in a period, the Flyers could score 5 goals in a period.
Absolutely. The logic is simple. Shutey, thanks as always. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, DJ.
We'll be right back. Philadelphia Flyers hockey here on Hockey TV.